simply moved our caravels into the central, region of our empire here in the central island with both Poland and Indonesia. We're next to our capital of Istanbul, and basically I'm going to be utilizing a strategy of waiting for Indonesian and Greek ships to arrive at my borders, where we will destroy them with our ships. I do believe we have, let me go and check, I believe we have all of our ships in good working order here. There's one over here, but I believe in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have 7 caravels in total. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the galleasses seen over here, and what I'm worried about is I'm worried about our trade routes, because we are basically sending trade through a war zone now with the addition of Indonesia and Greece at war with us. Of course, I could go to peace with Indonesia by taking Batam, or even taking it for myself. I don't really think it's necessary though, because this city would offer us no luxury resources. It's just a waste of space. Right, so getting back to the war. Let's go ahead and check to make sure that we are not at war with everybody here. Of course, Samarkand is our ally. They will be helping us out here in this conflict. But Zanzibar and other cities were not so lucky. Of course, we're going to have to upgrade our military force at some points to account for perhaps military landings in our ports. Bursa, of course, isn't completely vulnerable at this point. We will add at least a archer over there relatively soon. So, like I said earlier, we're going to be taking out some ships. All I'm worried about is that Pagoda has a defense of 40, which means that any ships that I send close enough to it might be destroyed in one hit. I'm really worried about that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to surround Pagoda for now, kind of goad the Pagodian galleass into attacking us. If we're lucky, it'll happen. If not, it won't. Basically, we're just going to have our ships ready just in case. So let's go ahead and end our turn. Let's take a look at our research printing press. I was going to rush the Leaning Tower since nobody's gotten it quite yet, and then maybe we can get another Great Admiral. Not really quite sure yet. Right, so this ship will kind of scout out any naval units that we have. Right, so it might be worth it to try to take the galleass, even if that means that we're going to lose a unit. You know, let's just do it. Might as well. We don't have any ranged units, so we could certainly use it. Of course, our Great Admiral will certainly help in this endeavor. And just like that, we've taken a galleass, actually, which is great. The second galleass, of course, is behind enemy lines in Pagoda, but we'll get it fast enough. So, our upgraded swordsmen we're going to keep in our city, and with the money that we've accumulated, we're going to buy... Well, we can't buy anything yet. Right, so we've lost a trade ship, but what's more important now, I think, is getting a workshop up. We could definitely use more production. Since we are on an island, we are going to need every single ounce of production we can get. Of course, sending in my ships over here to reinforce the naval blockade of Pagoda. Preparing myself, really, for any naval invasions on the part of Indonesia and Greece. Of course, Indonesia has a very high score at this point. Really no surprise there. Of course, I'm so used to playing European Universalis that I'm not really used to this interface. We've lost a civilian. Looks like Zanzibar is invading my island. This is one of the first times I've ever seen an AI actually come and take a civilian. Very interesting. But we'll be ready to intercept them. Of course, the galleass that we just stolen has been taken back most unceremoniously. As a result, back into it with using their tenet. Let's go with naval tradition. So okay, with some happiness, which is good. Not exactly necessary, but certainly an added benefit. And we're going to actually work on pairing our luxury resource, which is much more important at this point in time. Of course, Zanzibar only has our pillaged worker with no other unit at the moment. And our Ottoman caravel, is finding nothing but workers, which is really unfortunate. I was really hoping that we were going to find at least something a little bit more than substantial out of this, but we weren't, unfortunately. So that being said, we're going to be repairing our caravels, and this challenge is really freaking difficult. I mean, I knew this going into it, but we have yet to even take one city, let alone working on civilizations. I guess if we can even survive at this point, it'll be a miracle. I could be a douche and take out this workboat, but instead I'd rather kind of take a look around this area in search of naval units. You think they would have like at least one naval unit? Really strange. Of course, we still have one city-state ally, which is nice, but I can definitely use more. And it looks like the perfect solution to my problems is Kiev, since they have an abundance of naval units that we can take advantage of. Of course, it doesn't seem like Indonesia really has any units around my capital region to take, so that's fine. Instead, like I said, we will be putting one crossbowman there, course, our religion's kind of dying out. Istanbul is, of course, the only center of Sikhism. And I didn't even get to name it anything clever either. I kind of forgot to name my religion. Oh well. We've got another Greek ship over here on the horizon, which is nice. Oh, and he's constructing the Tower of Pisa. That's annoying. I guess I could make the Globe Theater, yet another galleass over here. 2 more, actually, in fact. So we'll send some of the less damaged caravels out to take control over here. And attacking the galleasses, of course. I think the admiral will be okay if we do that, so we're willing to. And you know what, why not? We'll work together with you. That's fine. It's good to be friendly with people. Right, so now that's been taken care of, we will take our worker back to the capital region, like I said, and evacuate our caravel over here, who is being damaged. We were not able to actually gain any unit that time, unfortunately, but these things happen. Right, so now that's been said, we will move some of our units closer to the combat, including our admiral. And our galleasses will be upgraded as soon as they get back to base. So far so good over here. Of course, getting bombarded by galleasses is unfortunate. And Ethiopia has just lost its capital, I guess somewhat unsurprisingly, as I believe Denmark has taken it. Let's go take a look. Yes, Denmark has conquered Indonesia. And as a result of its low health, we will just be healing it up. It's quite a bit easier than the alternative. And we're going to go ahead and start working on damaging this caravel. I know that next turn we might lose a caravel. I certainly hope we won't, but it is definitely a possibility. Let's go with mobility, always very useful. And let's pray that next turn we don't lose out too much in our units here. That would certainly be unfortunate. And we'll accept the research agreement. Oh! The galleass had a promotion and was able to take out our caravel. I pretty much assumed something like that might happen. Want to be very careful from here on out to ensure that we don't lose any naval units. It's incredibly annoying to see that happen, but it's a risk that we ended up taking. So we captured yet another one, and we will pillage this trade route. Very nice. There's 2 cargo ships? Okay. Well, I guess we could have pillaged from both. We have a treasury of 800, which isn't too bad. Should be able to buy some more, cargo ships if we need them. Perhaps in the capital we'll buy I don't know, seaport or something like that. In Ankara we'll buy something too. Maybe like a lighthouse for happiness. That would be nice. And we finally returned our galleasses, which we'll be able to upgrade into frigates, assuming we get some iron. And where is some iron? Do we have some iron on any of our islands? I don't see any on the top of my head. We do, of course, have silver. No iron over here as well. What about down here? Any iron? No. Where is iron? I have no idea. We have no access to iron, and it's going to be a problem here. Hell, I don't even... Okay, there's 1 source of iron over here in Samarkand, or 2 in Samarkand. We really have to buddy up with Samarkand, it seems. So I'm going to save up 1,000 gold and buy out Samarkand as an ally. That looks to be like the only solution to our current problem. We'll take open borders from Honolulu. And you know what, we'll be friends with most people, it's fine. Can always change our mind later on, and we certainly will. Right, so time to escort back most of our units. The only problem is I just saw a Greek trading ship, unless if it was a glitch. I could have swore I saw it somewhere. Well, even if I didn't see it, that's fine. We're going to send back our units now to heal up. And I guess the most important thing might be coastal raiding. So we're going to level that up as well. Now we have 3 galleasses. And all we need now is, like I said, a source of iron. Right, so let's go with a granary. Very useful to have access to one of those. And our worker is almost back to the capital region, which is fantastic. And there it is. There's the cargo ship. We'll take it next turn. Very easy source of quick money. Ooh, but I am going to get bombarded by 3 different galleasses next turn. Oh, maybe not, actually. That's a lot of galleasses. I can't believe it, honestly. So like I said, we're heading back with all of our ships. 3 different naval units on top of each other. That is absolutely crazy. And guys, we're nearing the time to end this current episode. We've lost, of course, 1 ship, but we've gained 3 ships. So we have a net gain of 2 ships this episode. And later on in the game, once we update these ranged units into battleships and submarines, we'll actually have a pretty good chance at taking out cities, so definitely we haven't given up quite yet. The challenge is incredibly difficult, but I'm happy that you guys are interested in watching this, and like I said, stay tuned for the next episode. It'll be out really soon. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment box below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.